Hello everyone, welcome back to our economics class. Today's topic is from unit number 3, that is law of demand. This topic was previously explained in black and white, and this is the colored version of this topic which was left in the previous class. So let us recall this topic once again. Like, what is law of demand? We have read what are the exceptions of law of demand, right? Like where this law will not work. We have read Giffen paradox, Veblen goods, etc. So what is actually law of demand? We did not discuss this topic. So let us go first with the introduction. Like, who have stated this law of demand? So law of demand had been stated by Sir Alfred Marshall. Who is Alfred Marshall? An economist. So law of demand had been stated by whom? Alfred Marshall. That means law of demand was first explained by Sir Alfred Marshall. Then what are the assumptions of law of demand? Like, if we satisfy these points, then only we say that the law of demand is working. So what are those 4 points? First one is taste and preference of the consumer remains constant. Taste and preference of the consumer remains constant. For example, if we have 2 goods, like you are saying, madam, right now I want to eat chocolates. So I have kept some 50 chocolates in front of you. Alright, because you said that you like the chocolates, and you are saying that right now, madam, I seriously want to eat many chocolates. So I kept some 50 chocolates, that is dairy milk, in front of you. So after consuming maximum of 10 dairy milks, you won't be getting more satisfaction, because continuously you are eating sweet, sweet and sweet. Maximum you can eat 20 chocolates, not more than that. Then again, right now you will change your want from sweet to something snack style. Right, you may want to eat some samosa or some chips, etc. So what you are doing, your taste and preferences are changing from chocolate to snacks item. Law of demand is saying you should not do that. If you want to consume one commodity, then you need to consume that one commodity only, and you should not ask for another. That means your taste and preference must be constant. So what is the first assumption? Taste and preference of the consumer should be constant. Then coming to second point, income of the consumer should also be constant. Alright, like whatever you are purchasing, you are having certain income with you. For example, you have 100 rupees with you and you are purchasing a commodity of 20 rupees. Now remaining how many? 80 rupees are left with you, right? So you are purchasing some one commodity of 20 rupees. Means daily or whenever you want, you need to purchase the commodity of 20 rupees only, not another commodity. That means your income is 100. When it changes to 200 also, then also you need to buy the same commodity. If your income changes to 300, then also you need to buy the commodity of only 20 rupees. So the income of the consumer should be constant. Your income should not change from 100, 200 or 300. How much income you used to have earlier, now at present also you should have that much income only. So second is income of the consumer must be constant. First is taste and preference of the consumer should be constant. Then income of the consumer should be constant. Constant means not changing, same. Alright. Then coming to third one, prices of related goods should be constant. For example, like when you are buying Colgate, it is a toothpaste, right? When you are buying Colgate, imagine that is of 30 rupees. Okay, Colgate is of how much rupees? Colgate is of 30 rupees, and the other related good of Colgate is what? Close-up. So if the price is 20, then obviously everyone will purchase Close-Up instead of Colgate. Why? Because whenever price is less, people will demand more. But law of demand is saying that prices of related goods should also be constant. If the price of Colgate is 30, then the price of Close-Up should also be 30 only. One more related good is what? One more form of this toothpaste is, you can take many other examples, like there are different varieties of toothpaste. So from that we have taken just two examples. If the prices of one good is this much, the prices of other goods should also be the same. That is the assumption of law of demand. In simple terms, prices of related goods should be constant. Then coming to last point, population should also be constant. So no need to explain this point. Population means number of persons living in a country. That is called as the population. That should also be constant. It should not change. Alright, population generally will increase because of high birth rates. Population will decrease because of deaths of persons also. But law of demand is saying that population should not change. Population should be constant. So what are the four assumptions of law of demand? First is taste and preference of the consumer should be constant. Then income of the consumer should be constant. Then prices of related goods should also be constant. And finally, population should also be constant. Then let us see what is the explanation of this law. So whenever price increase, demand decrease. Whenever price decrease, demand increase. This is called as which relationship? It is called as negative relationship. So whenever price increase, demand decrease, and price decrease, demand increase, with other things being constant, that is only law of demand. Is that clear? So in simple terms, law of demand will explain the relationship. It will explain the relationship between price and demand. It will explain the relationship between price and demand. Then there is a particular formula, like you can use this formula in order to denote law of demand. So let us see what is the formula. dn is equals to f of pn. dn is equals to f of pn. Let us see the full form. dn means demand for n commodities. pn means price of n commodities. F means functional relationship. Okay. So in simple terms, the meaning is again the same. It is explaining the functional relationship between price and demand. So this is the explanation of this law. So this law of demand is actually divided into four parts. First part of this topic is assumptions. Second topic is explanation of the law. Then third part is demand schedule, and last part is demand curve. What is demand schedule? Let us see the definition. Different quantities of a commodity purchased by a consumer. Different quantities of commodity purchased by a consumer at different prices. At different prices means a consumer who is purchasing goods, who is purchasing different quantities of goods at different prices, that is called as demand schedule. Means how much quantity of goods a consumer can purchase at different prices. So here first column is of price, second column is of demand. So price is rupees 5. This is what? Rupees 5. When the price is rupees 5, the demand is just 1. Okay. Then when the price is the least, here the price is highest. Rupees 5 in this is highest number. What is the lowest number here? 1 rupees. So when the price is 1 rupees, the demand is highest, that is 5. I have written 5 numbers over here, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From this highest is 5 and the smallest is 1. So when the price is highest, the demand is very low. When the price is the lowest, that is rupees 1, the price is highest. This is what law of demand is saying, right? Just now we have said price is less, demand is more, price is more, demand is less. Now you can just interpret it. Price is 5, demand is 1, means price is high, demand is low. Coming to the last line, price is 1, demand is 5, means price is less, demand is more. This is what law of demand is saying. So what is demand schedule? How much quantities of a commodity that a person, that a consumer can purchase at different types of money, different quantities of money, different prices of money. Then coming to the last part, that is demand curve. The same table I have shown in the form of graph. You can see when the price is the highest, that is 5. On y-axis we have price, on x-axis we have demand. So price is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I have written 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The demand is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Demand is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let us see. First we said that price is 5, demand is 1. So price is 5, demand is 1. That means this much. When the price was highest, demand was this much. Then coming to the last condition. When price is 1, demand is 5. So this is the price is 1. Demand is how much? 5. So I need to color this whole part. When the price was 5, demand was just 1. Alright, but when the price have reduced to 1, the demand is 5. This is called as the demand curve. Alright, the topic is completed. What we have read in this topic, what is law of demand, what was that its assumptions, then what is the explanation of law, then what is demand schedule and demand curve. Demand schedule is can also be asked in your 2 marks question, as well as demand curve can also be asked as a 2 marks question. So law of demand is an important topic for both 5 marks as well as for 2 marks. See you in the next class with some more topics. Till that, stay home, stay safe and keep practicing. You just include this topic from in your unit 3 answers.